This 2015 NLCS telecast on TBS is brought to you by FanDuel, the leader of one-day fantasy sports, by Cricket Wireless, where you can get a whole lot of network for not a lot of dough, by IBM. IBM Watson can help us outthink our biggest challenges, and by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Bottom half of the ninth inning. The New York Mets 3 outs away from advancing to the World Series. And they call on Jeurys Familia, who's been near perfect.
Franchise record for saves blown away now by Familia. It was 3. He's got 5 this post. Mets have done it with a balanced attack here in this NLCS. 7 home runs, 7 stolen bases.
Given up just 2 hits in his 8 2/3. 5 strikeouts and a walk. Cubs need 5 to tie. Well said, young man, well said. There's Chris Coughlin. Look out.
Coughlin got the start in game 2 against Syndergaard. His first at bat, robbed by Granderson of a home run.
Good fastball hitter, short little stroke.
That's a split finger there from Familia. Sinking fastball at 95 plus. Razor blade slider to go along with a split finger.
At 94.
The 1-2 from Familia. That's on the ground to Murphy. 1 out in the 9th. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS, presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. Casey and the gang standing by. All the post-game reaction. No, Ron and Cal, I mean, few teams in the history of this great game have as colorful a history as the Chicago Cubs. At times a very frustrating history, obviously. This series had nothing to do with Billy Goats or Bartman or Back to the Future. It had to do with one team simply outplaying another in every facet of the game.
Yeah, it was pitching, power pitching, refined power pitching.
Murphy will field that off the glove of Familia, and that's 2 down.
I mean, this Chicago Cubs team is a good team.
That's right.
And I think most people thought they might have been a year away from doing what they've done. 97 wins. Because in the last 4 games is not reflective of who they are. It's really reflective of how well New York has pitched and how well the Mets have played.
Against the mighty Cardinals, they had 10 home runs. They weren't able to get untracked against the Mets. But 97 wins, 101 if you're including the postseason. They're well on their way to being a good ball club for a long time.
You saw that shot from New York where they are primed to celebrate. Montero takes 1-0. This is the 9th postseason game in this run for the New York Mets, beating the Dodgers in 5, trying to sweep the Cubs, and it's the 8th game in which Familia has appeared. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0.
He's really turned out to be a valuable piece in the back of that bullpen. Not only being able to close out 3 outs, but proving he can close out a game with 6 outs.
Top step time for everybody in that New York dugout.
Well, he's a guy last year that went multiple innings as a setup man. That was going to be his job out of spring training. This year, the suspension of Mejia pushed him into the closer role, and he hasn't stopped being excellent for 7 months.
And they are a strike away. Cespedes left the game with a sore shoulder, and he is in full celebration mode, the goggles in place.
Baseball gods are rumbling.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Montero waiting on Familia. Inside, count full. Young Syndergaard and the veteran Cologne. 3-2. Tried to check his swing, and he did. 2-out walk for Montero.
Well, Familia has had a couple of sporadic walks, but in the postseason, hitters are 2 for 30 off him. I think that's one of those that you don't want a game in the postseason, the NLCS, to end on a check swing.
I think the Mets would take it.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
Here's Fowler. There's a strike 0-1.
I didn't get to see the best angle on that, but it looked like it was pretty close.
There goes Montero. That pitch inside. How did it not hit Dexter Fowler? Went right through him. A ball and a strike. And again, a strike away. At the plate, off of Fowler, and it stays 1-2. Chris Bryant, the likely Rookie of the Year in the National League.
I mean, the Cubs could have the Manager of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young Award winner.
That's why they're good.
Yes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fowler waiting. Checked his swing. And again, Mark Wegner said he didn't go. 2-2. Mark Wegner said he's not getting me to do that.
Yeah. In front of these folks? I don't think so.
The 2-2 pitch. Up and away. 3-2. Jorge Soler's had a big night. He's waiting on deck if Fowler can keep it going.
Good swing and a high fastball there.
How about a battle here with Fowler? 8 pitches. 20 for the inning for Familia. He retired the first 2. Ground balls to Daniel Murphy. He walked Montero. And strike 3 called. They haven't been to the World Series since 2000, and the Mets are on their way back. At McFadden's, far from last call. Daniel Murphy. It's been a postseason for the ages. He's already done something nobody's ever done in Major League history, and that's homer in 6 straight postseason games. As the Mets sweep the Cubs in the National League Championship Series.
Well, the Mets decided here in the middle of October to play the best baseball they've played all season long. A brand of baseball with home runs, 7 in this series, stolen bases, 7 in this series, and pitching that is even hard to describe how good it was, how young it is.
Hey, Ronnie, you get to see them all the way through the season, so you saw the ups and downs. I got a chance to see them sporadically, but you couldn't be more impressed with the polish on the young starters. The miles per hour got you giddy looking at it, but it was the change-ups and the breaking balls and their ability to keep the Cubs' powerful home run offense down. Really impressive, and Familia is really impressive.
Terry Collins, all those games, Ronnie, that it took him to make it to the postseason.
1,688, Ernie. And his first chance in the post, he's going to the World Series.
Jacob deGrom with his 3 wins on the road in this postseason.
It's a great reaction.
Yeah, and Curtis Granderson, a Chicago native.
Lucas Duda with 5 RBIs in the game, and Familia. You called him the horse, Ernie.
Thoroughbred out of that pen.
On his knees, as tall as Darno.
Let's go down to the field. Sam Ryan. Sam.
Lucas, we saw the bear hug from your manager. 5 runs batted in, 2 doubles, a home run to break out a game of this magnitude in the clincher. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely nice to, get out of this little rut I've been in. But I mean, Daniel Murphy, what he did tonight again is he's unbelievable. Steven Matz did an awesome job tonight, and the pitching came through. Just elated to be in this position.
And for you, you were actually hitting bombs out of here during batting practice. The home run in the first on the 3-2 pitch there. Did you feel that that was coming?
I was just trying to make, solid contact. I was fortunate enough to put the barrel on it, and it is.
To do it here, to go to the World Series with these guys, what is it like with this team, with this group of guys?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The chemistry in the clubhouse is, it's awesome, just fun to be around. These guys are like 25 of my brothers, so I couldn't be happier for them and our fans. So,
Lucas, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
New York Mets were 52-50 on the 3rd of July. And they're going to the World Series. It was a red-hot August. The addition of Cespedes, Uribe, Kelly Johnson, moves like that. And this team caught fire. And, man, as you point out, Ronnie, absolutely playing their best baseball when it matters the most.
And they went through some issues, how to take care of their young pitchers, to make sure if they did get in the postseason that they'd be fresh enough to pitch, fresh enough. They're pitching their best baseball right now.
Let's go back down to Sam.
David, you guys came close in 2006. You didn't get this shirt, though. To do it, or the hat.
Yeah.
To do it this time with this group of guys, what is it like to finally get here?
I mean, this city deserves this. This organization deserves this. The fans deserve it, and this group of guys deserve it. I mean, it's you got to believe. You got to believe, and I can't stop saying it. We're going to the World Series. I mean, this is an incredible feeling. Words can't describe the emotion that's on this field right now. I mean, this is incredible. When you grow up as a kid, you think about playing in the World Series. You're in your backyard with your wiffle ball bat, saying Game 7, full count, bases loaded, and now we get to experience it. I mean, are you kidding me? It just feels too good to be true.
You remember that Game 7. This was a season that was somewhat doubtful for you with a spinal stenosis. You worked so hard to get back to play with this team, a limited number of games for you. Those at home don't see the work that you put in before the games, coming to the ballpark early, the ice on your back after the games. For you, how worth it is all of this?
I mean, are you kidding me? The World Series, I can't describe the emotion and the feeling that's going through me right now. I mean, for me individually, yeah, it's been a long year, it's been a long road, but to be able to taste this, to be able to comprehend that the New York Mets are going to the World Series, I mean, I'd do anything to do that.
You're going and you see how this team transformed throughout the season and even in the postseason. Base running team, you see the starting pitching. How do you sum up what this team has done?
The Miracle Mets, 69 Miracle Mets, the 86, you got to believe. I mean, a combination of both. I mean, this team has so much fight in it. I'm so proud of these guys. I mean, there's so many guys that, we got tested this year. We went through some adversity. We get to the playoffs. We're the underdog against the Dodgers. We beat the Dodgers Game 5. We come here, we're the underdog against the Cubs. We're able to take 4 games against a terrific team. And we just can't wait. We can't wait to start the World Series.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this. Enjoy it, David.
Thanks, Sam.
Back to you.
What a night for the New York Mets, as they sweep away the Chicago Cubs in a series in which they never trailed. Just a dominating performance, and every facet of the game, it was in evidence.
Well, I was just wondering, when you look back on it, sometimes you think that they just get there and sometimes it happens, but they earned it. I mean, they earned their way all the way through. They were the better team. They executed better. They played better. They're going to the World Series because they are the best team.
They're going to the World Series because they got through Kershaw, Greinke, Lester, Arrieta. That's an amazing accomplishment for a team in the postseason.
It has been, as always, a thrill, a pleasure, an honor to work with you two, and to bring everybody at home this National League Championship Series. Still have a post-game show that's going to wrap up the night. I'm going to go downstairs and be part of this trophy presentation for the New York Mets, who make it a sweep over the Chicago Cubs, 8-3 the final. We congratulate the New York Mets, the 2015 National League champions. For Ron Darling, Cal Ripken, Sam Ryan, Matt Weiner, our entire production and technical crew, Matt Lipp, Scott Cockrell, great job, fellas. This is Ernie Johnson. Following a quick break, we're going to send it over to Casey Stern. See you in a few minutes.
Congratulations to the 2015 National League champion New York Mets. Now's your chance to own the gear the players are wearing. Go to the official online shop of the New York Mets, the MLB.com shop. Get your authentic on-field championship t-shirt, cap, and officially licensed championship gear. The New York Mets are back. Celebrate your team's return to the World Series and wear what the players wear. Get your gear today straight from the source, the MLB.com shop.
They say that in life, we shouldn't sweat the small stuff. But when you're building a Mercedes-Benz, there really is no small stuff. Every decision, every component is an integral part of what makes the 2016 C-Class one of our most sophisticated cars ever. Because when you're setting a new benchmark for refinement, it is the small stuff that makes the biggest impression. The 2016 C-Class. See your authorized dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
In defense of all we hold dear back home, America's Navy.
The greatest journeys are never easy. But when men unite, no destination is unreachable. This is The Quest on TNT.
Hey! Hey! Is the whole season gonna be this rough? Hey, DeAndre! Is it too soon to say I'm having second thoughts? I'm soaked! I look like Steve Ballmer after a pep rally.
Watching football together is great, but I think women would agree. Huddling with their man after the game is nice too. The thing is, about half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Now available in new single packs.
Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 58 years old. This disease just ravages a family.
It changes your life. If we work together, we can stop this epidemic. Now is the moment.
Contact Bright Focus and learn more.
The 1-1. In the air. Deep right center field. That ball is gone! Daniel Murphy has homered in 6 straight postseason games. Nobody's ever done it before.
The New York Mets have clinched a spot in the World Series, and they are celebrating after a clean sweep of the Chicago Cubs. 8-3 your final. Daniel Murphy, a hero again, 4 hits, 6 straight game with a home run breaking the Beltran mark. 7 home runs in a postseason breaking the Mets franchise mark. Meanwhile, Duda gets hot. Mets and the bullpen do enough, and the New York Mets now await their opponent in the American League and get a few days to get ready for the World Series in 2015. Meanwhile, the Cubs, who had a fantastic season, despite winning the wild card, could have easily won other divisions with the record they had. Great relationship with the fan base this year, and Joe Madden and company with a great gesture, guys.
Yeah, that was a great gesture, you know, to their fans. These loyal fans, they came and supported them
they just got beat by a better team.
You know, Pedro, one of the things that we saw with the Cubs is so much youth and so much to look forward to when you look at Schwarber and Bryant and Russell, who we didn't see in this series, Baez, who we did, and so many others.
Well, this team has no ceiling, but and you know what? I want to congratulate the Chicago Cubs as a team and as an organization, because I'm not going to lie, I was one of them that said that the Chicago Cubs will take at least 2 more years to be in the position they were today, and they proved me wrong. So this team has no ceiling when it comes to the future. So congratulations to them too, and what a great gesture to see the fans clapping for their team even though they lost. That's what you call a loyal fan base, and I mean it's beautiful to see for baseball.
We welcome you to our set officially here, the postseason show, presented by our friends at Lincoln Motor Company. Casey Stern alongside the usual cast, Pedro Martinez, Gary Sheffield, and Dusty Baker. We'll get it down to EJ in just a bit for the celebration and, of course, for the presentation on the ceremony of the trophy as well. But, Dusty, let's start with Daniel Murphy. 6 consecutive games with a home run in postseason record.
I mean, every day we came out here, we expected him to hit another one. And then he hits 2 other ones. I tell you, he's locked in, he's having fun, he's very relaxed. His concentration is probably higher than it's ever been in his entire career. He has great balance. His teammates, I mean, everybody on the field on both sides, I think, felt the same way, like he was going to hit a home run or do something fantastic.
He's just absolutely playing out his mind. It couldn't have happened to a better guy. You know, he was one of the best teammates to be around. He was always positive, and now when you put in hard work, because he had a bunch of knee injuries early in his career, and he overcame those because they didn't know where to play in. Left field, third base, second base, they had no clue. First base, they had no clue a way to put him. But he settled in at second base. He picked up David Wright when he went down, and this kid has just been all world.
And Pedro, when you look at the Mets and their hitting, Murphy did it twice off Kershaw, hit it off Greinke, off Lester, off Arrieta. When you see an offense do what they did against that pitching, what does that say about the Mets now moving forward for you?
I will have to take the Mets and think that they're the favorites to win, because there's no way you're going to face better pitching than you did during the postseason. So looking forward to whatever team is going to be facing, I just don't think that there is going to be better starting pitching facing the Mets down the road than they have already faced and beaten. So congratulations to the Mets. Hey. I hope they win it, and right now in my heart, they're my favorite.
Hey, man, I feel so good watching the Mets and watching all those young guys in there, and Sandy Alderson and Terry Collins, and congrats to Goody, you know, who played for me, and look over here, and Kadire and all those guys. I'll tell you, this is great. It's great for the city, great for the organization, and great for them.
You know, Dusty, as being a manager, this is the feeling. You know, this is not easy to get to this point. This is the hardest thing to do in sports, is to get to a World Series, especially getting there and winning it.
Right.
In New York, as a manager, like a field goal kicker, you don't get credit for getting them. That's your job. But every time you miss, there's a problem. Well, Terry Collins handled it all year long, but did the job, and the New York Mets end up getting where they need to go. That's to the World Series. That means celebrations, and that means ceremonies as well. Will it be Daniel Murphy for the MVP? How excited is the organization? We get that as we send it down to the field for the presentation with our own Ernie Johnson. Ernie?
All right, thank you very much, Casey. And here we are outside of the victorious Mets clubhouse, and we have some hardware to hand out. We have Bill Giles, who's the Honorary National League president here. Fred Wilpon, who's the chairman of the New York Mets. Congratulations. We'll be talking to you in just a second. Saul Katz, the president of the ball club. Jeff Wilpon is here. Sandy Alderson is here. Terry Collins is here, and so is a guy who had a pretty good series. And I think we'll probably give you a trophy before this is all over, too, Daniel Murphy. But first things first, National League champions. Do the honors, Mr. Giles.
Guys, congratulations. You had an awesome year, and the way you put this team together was amazing. I have never seen so many fine young pitchers in my life. And then you went out and got some offense at the midseason, and I just think it was a great year for you and for all the Mets fans in the world. I'm happy right now to present to you the Warren C. Giles Trophy to the National League champion New York Mets. heavy.
Thank you very much, Ben. Oh, it's good.
That's a good kind of heavy.
It was worth it.
Mr. Wilpon, tell me about this. When you talk about pride of ownership, and a night like this, just exactly how does this feel for you?
Well, it obviously feels great, and I just want to thank everybody, my family, Saul, my son Jeff, and everybody else that's here. But I must tell you, I want to thank the players. They have been awesome. Right from spring training, they knew what they wanted to do, and they went out and did it. This group of young men are of the greatest character that I have ever seen on a team. They play for each other, they root for each other, and I'm tremendously proud of them. I also want to just thank our fans. They have been fantastic. There must have been 2,000 fans out there today, and I thank them very much. So let's go to the World Series.
Congratulations on winning the National League. Sandy Alderson, if I could get a word with you about the makeup of this team, and when you make moves like you did to acquire a guy like Yoenis Cespedes, and you get Uribe, and you get Kelly Johnson, and you get Clippard, and you make these tweaks along the way, to watch all of that result in what you saw tonight, describe that for me.
Well, I think it was it's tremendously rewarding for the entire organization. Each of those acquisitions involved a lot of input from a lot of different people, and some decisions that ultimately had to be made. I'm very thankful that ownership allowed us to do it. They were very, very supportive, but things don't always work out. These did, and we're tremendously excited, particularly for Mets fans all over the country.
You know what it takes to make a champion. 1989 with the Oakland Athletics. What do you see, characteristic-wise, trait-wise, in this team that might be similar to that team?
Well, there are a lot of young elements to the team. The team has grown up very quickly in the spotlight over the last couple of weeks. So many of our young players have matured, I think, before our eyes, the performances that we've seen. But I think what it boils down to is the kind of leadership that we had among our staff, Terry Collins in particular, the veteran leadership, which included Daniel, Michael Kadire, David Wright, Granderson, Cologne, and then the young players who have molded themselves in the sort of the light of our veteran leadership. But as Fred said, we've got great character in the clubhouse, and I think it shone through over the last couple of weeks.
Sandy, congratulations. You talk about Terry Collins, and Terry, come on up here. 1,688 games.
Few.
Yeah, that's a few to get to this point. And so you got to play the full 5 in the first round. You come in here and sweep the Chicago Cubs. I mean, can you even begin to describe what this whole run has been like? And to wait, you're the oldest manager in the big leagues, man. You're 66. You said the other day there is a sense of urgency. I'm 66.
That's right.
What's this night like for you?
Well, it's a tremendous night. You know, and it started 5 years ago when Sandy came on and, knew that he had to rebuild the roster, and he did. Went out and made some big trades. It cost us some real good players. Knowing that down the road these young players were going to develop, and you mix them with the tremendous veterans we had with Dan and David, and went out and got some help, and it just meshed. And it's the character, like Fred said, a tremendous clubhouse. These guys are a blast to be around. I try to do my best to stay out of the way and let them play. But I told somebody tonight, I'm going to the World Series for the first time, and the one memory I have when I was a little boy, my mom wrote a note so I could stay home and watch the World Series when I was 12 years old. Now I'm going to be part of it. It's a big thrill.
I know you and I talked the other day about your father, Bud, and at the age of 95, you lost him this year, and you thought about him the night you clinched the National League East. Was he on your mind tonight, on this night?
Today is my mother and father's wedding anniversary, so they were part of Murph's home run. They were kind of blowing on it to get it out of here.
Congratulations. So well deserved, so hard earned. Terry, nice going. I'm getting to you in just a second here, Murph, because we have another trophy to hand out, do we not, Mr. Giles?
Some more silverware here, and this young man only hit .529. He had 4 home runs. And I don't know if you know it or not, but you're the first player in Major League history to hit a home run in 6 consecutive postseason games.
I'm as surprised as you are.
So Daniel Murphy, the MVP.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Daniel, we've all been asked, you probably have been asked too, how does this happen? How does a guy get that hot at this time and on this kind of a roll to do something nobody's ever done in the history of baseball, and that is homer in 6 straight postseason games?
I don't know. I wish I could explain it. You know, sometimes the blessings just flow. I think first I'd like to say that, you know, the coolest thing about this award is that we're going to the World Series as a ball club. Everybody should get a piece of this. I just happen to be the one standing up here. Kevin Long and Pat Rosser have done an unbelievable job with our entire offensive unit. Even when we weren't swinging the bat as well as we wanted to, they kept coming, they kept grinding. Like you've alluded to already, our starting pitching was absolutely unbelievable from start to finish. And we still got some work to do, but we're going to enjoy this one tonight. What a great job by the coaching staff, ownership. This is a lot of fun.
The fact that you've worn one uniform in your career, and the fact that you're going to wear that uniform now into the World Series, when does that sink in, or has it yet?
I don't know if it has yet. I think I'm as excited about that New York Mets uniform as I am the other 24 guys that I'm going to get to share it with. We've already, you know, Fred has already talked about the group of guys that are in there from the first day of spring training, and the high character guys that Sandy and Fred and Saul were able to add at the trade deadline. You know, and they alluded to that, you know, they let him do it. You know, Yoenis Cespedes, Clippard, you know, and all those guys, Kelly Johnson. I'm really excited to be able to share this with them.
World Series starts Tuesday. You're red hot. Are you going to petition that maybe start this thing just as soon as possible?
No, because I mean, the longer you get to hold it off, the longer we get to spend together as a group. And so I'm excited to enjoy this with those guys. I'm excited to see my wife and my son and get a couple of days in New York with them. That's always a blessing. And then we'll be ready for the World Series.
Incredible performance. Congratulations on the award. Congratulations to the New York Mets, the National League champions 2015, heading to the World Series for the first time since the year 2000. We get it back to Casey Stern.
All right, EJ, thank you very much. And guys, I want to go here as players, the emotion. What gets lost, I think, when you deal, especially in the world of fantasy and statistics, is the real life of being away from family, the emotion. When you see Terry Collins and David Wright, guys that you were there and you played with a guy like Murph as well, what's your thought when you think back to your time winning it all, Chef?
Just keep your emotions in check till the job is finished. Yeah, we got past the Cubs. Okay, now we got the World Series to deal with. Enjoy your couple days off, enjoy your family, but then it's time for business to get the real trophy, so to speak. You know, get that finish, and then you can celebrate for real.
Pedro, I know you were touched listening to Terry Collins talk about his parents losing his dad, their anniversary on this date, and you could see truly how much this meant to him.
Well, I would like to congratulate him for the first time in the World Series, a journeyman in baseball, and a man that deserves a lot of credit and respect. And along with his team, I wish him well. I got a little bit emotional when I heard him talk, because I know what my family means to me. And for him to have the anniversary of his mom and dad on the same day he's going to the World Series, I mean, what better trophy than that one?
He's a great man on top of it. He's a great man.
Yeah,
he's a great man.
I mean, the fan base in New York and the ownership, everybody that has contributed to put together this special team. Congratulations, and I wish Terry all the best along the way.
Dusty, as a manager with your players and as a teammate, can you try and describe or even put into words when Daniel Murphy talks about the camaraderie and the character, how much still you could probably sit here and remember those moments as fondly as if they happened yesterday?
Well, first I'd like to say that I was really touched by, you know, comments that Daniel Murphy said, how sincere and humble he was in talking about his teammates and not really talking about himself, and them talking about as a group and how great the clubhouse was. And I think that's something that's overlooked a lot of times. But, you know, people say, oh yeah, man, is a clubhouse camaraderie that important? Well, yes, it is important, because, you know, you're a family. And you're with these guys probably 200 and something odd days, and you have maybe 1 or 2 days off a month. You're on a train, you're on a bus, you're on the plane, you're at the stadium, and you know, they are family. And when I think about Terry Collins, when I was thinking about my dad as well, because my dad, passed 5 years ago, and I know, how touched he is right. I'm talking about Terry Collins, how touched he is right now about his mom and dad's anniversary, and the fact that they are definitely in heaven right now, and he said it, man. I mean, they were blowing some of those balls out of there, Murph's balls out of there, and so, man, that is a great situation. Sandy Alderson was my last general manager, and I told him the other day, I said, hey, as a player, and I said, hey, congratulations, man. Hope you guys go all the way.
And one of the things you guys know, having been in there and covering a number of these, spending the time with the families, having the wives and kids in there to celebrate these moments, and as Chef said, as in true player form, eye on the prize. There is no time to soak in the enjoyment.
I mean, you can enjoy it, but at the end of the day, these are the players that you're going to remember for a lifetime.
Correct.
The ones that you win with.
Let's talk about how they got here. Take a look at the highlight, because we wondered, could the Cubs stay in here down 3-0? We had a lot of positivity and some faith when we came in the ballpark this afternoon, but how much in Jason Hamill, a guy who, and we'll talk about this in a bit, Joe Madden kind of, intimated a little bit of a short leash, even though he'd be the starter. Well, that would be the case, because I said in pregame I thought maybe Lucas Duda would get it done, and he did with a 3-run shot.
Yeah, he did it in a big way. But like I said, this guy was due to break out, and boy, did he break out. I mean, that was a big 3-run homer to give them the cushion and made them relax, and then they just went on to just play Mets baseball.
And it's 4-0 right away. I mean, it's 3-0, and then it ended up being 4-0. Well, 4-0, they took the crowd right out of the game. Right out of the game. I mean, you're doing silent right away, and over there they're like, okay, boys, let's keep pushing and let's get some more. And I'll tell you, it was like it was a slow death in the whole stadium.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like. Yes. I mean, just a matter of time. And it seems like, man, the game is over before it even started.
You see Duda with another double. He gets in 5 runs, 5 RBIs in the game. Yoenis Cespedes would leave early, sore shoulder. I don't think it's serious. We'll continue to monitor that as we get closer to the World Series. Your old guy and your X factor in the series earlier, and Travis Wood gets in there on the mound after just 1+ for Hamill. That's all we had in this game. 6-0 advantage in the 3rd inning. Joe Madden and company, they were laughing, but would they be for long? They had a little bit of time
to stay loose.
He was
trying to stay loose.
He was chefing a food right there.
Right, exactly.
Are you serious? You trying to rip off Shaq?
That's my guy.
I love how you try and make your own segment when it's our last show. Chef in the Fool.
You can't tell me that ain't Chef in the Fool.
Well, it's a little bit Chef in the Fool. All right, we get to the 4th inning. The Cubs finally get it going. Jorge Soler, I know that they didn't win the series, Pedro, but he really showed what a star he's going to be.
Well, this kid is a special, and I'm pretty sure the Cubs are going to have a superstar pretty soon on this kid. I mean, the future, like I said, for this organization has no ceiling. And Soler
that's a key play right there. That's a key play right there. That was a great play by David Wright, because that ball's down in the corner, nobody out, probably scores all 3, and boom, they're right back in the game.
Defensive plays in this series and fundamentals all seem to go to the Mets. There were 3 in this game. Duda early on the dive when he was playing on the line. Fowler Wright with that jump, and then Wright coming in on a ball. We'll see here in a bit, but here's Duda ending the inning. And we saw missed opportunities, guys. The Cubs not able to really get runs. They had 21 hits in this series, Chef. The Mets had 21 runs in this series.
Well, that sums it up, and that sums the Cubs up. That team, they strike out a little too much for me. Sometimes, especially when you get the bases loaded with no outs, you got to come up with more than 1 run. And that's what happened tonight, and that just summed up this whole series for me.
5th inning, Bartolo Colon gets on the mound. Dusty, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, Bartolo Colon, he knows how to pitch. And it's like you got an old veteran, like old goat, like Pedro would say, out there, and he's pitching against young goats. And so, nod goes to Colon, because, I mean, he had him eating out of his hand. I mean, he throws, he knows how to set up guys. The other guys don't even know they're set up, and next thing you know, he strikes them out or hits in a double play.
Dusty, a lot of looks at the bad things that the Chicago Cubs did, but the Mets pitching and the way they clicked in every aspect, defense, they did everything well.
Yes, they did.
And that's what got them really in the position we are.
Fernando Rodney gets in the game in the 8th inning, and that is where we see Daniel Murphy do it again. This home run was the 6th consecutive game for him with a home run in the postseason. It breaks the mark of Carlos Beltran, extends his franchise mark. Piazza had 5 in 20-something games. Murphy now has 7 through this postseason, which, by the way, we'll keep on counting. And kind of forgotten here, I think in this series, Pedro, let's be honest, has been Familia, who really has been brilliant. Didn't give up much the entirety of the last couple of weeks here in October.
On hero, Familia, and this is a guy that has all the confidence in the world for a young boy, because this is a guy that's really, really young. Took over the stopper job this year and has done an unbelievable job helping the Mets get through the postseason.
All right, they apparently switched out a sweep and a broom for a vacuum in the background. The Mets 8-3 over the Cubs as they take care of business, but it was a terrific season for Chicago. A big reason why probable manager here in the National League, Joe Madden. He caught up with our own Matt Weiner after the game.
Joe, are you more disappointed in the result here, or the fact that you guys didn't really play your best in this series?
Well, you just got to give the Mets some credit right now. It's not like we didn't play our best only because they played so well. But they didn't give us a chance to get any kind of offense mounted. I mean, when you can't get offense mounted in a game, it really gives you the appearance of being flat, even though you are not. We hit some balls well, right at folks, but overall they just outpitched us, they outplayed us, they deserved to win it, and I want to congratulate the Mets.
How impressed do you come away with those young arms over there and Daniel Murphy?
Daniel Murphy, I've seen Barry Bonds in the World Series in 2002. It was even better than that. I mean, it's unbelievable what I just observed. Kudos to him and the whole group. Their young arms are fabulous. They really are. They had a plan. They made it work. They were just good, man. There's no other way to talk about it. It's not like we were so bad. They were just that good for 4 days, and they didn't give us any kind of breathing room. They're scoring in the first inning consistently is the things that we like to do. They did to us. So it's unfortunate. I'm really proud of our guys. You look at the group and how far we've come within 1 year. It's pretty spectacular, so the future's bright.
Yeah, everybody believes you're at least a year ahead of schedule here. How valuable will this experience be moving forward?
It's invaluable. I mean, for young guys like ours to experience this in their first year out, and then also learn how to win on the major league level. That's really important. I mean, that cannot be underestimated how important that is. And what is it? It's a feel. It's a method on a daily basis. It's a belief system that you know how to do this. And so you have to go through it. Our guys went through it, got 4 games away from the World Series. That's not a bad thing. So, like I said, at the end of, mentioned it before the game, when the game day began, there was only 4 teams left standing in the major leagues. We were one of them. I'm pretty proud of that.
It's been fun. Congratulations.
All right, getting to know Joe, that's one of the best guys, forget about in the game in the world. So obviously congratulations to him on the success. How about success in the first inning? Dusty, the Mets in the 4 games in the first inning had 9 runs. The Cubs in the 36 innings they played in this series only had 8 total.
Well, you know something, man, that's what you want to do. You want to jump them early. And you jump them early, boom, because the guy's coming out of the bullpen. He think he's throwing well. He think he has good stuff. And next thing you know, he's 3 or 4 runs down.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to ambush him. I've been saying this the whole time. I love ambushing you in the first. If we put the run on the board in the first, your back is against the wall. Now you just got punched in the mouth. Now I'm going to see what you're going to do.
And Pedro, we saw on the other side with DeGrom, for example, they weren't really able, the Cubs, to take advantage when the Mets a couple of times gave them a little bit of wiggle room to do so early in the games. And then once those pitchers settled down, it was lights out.
Well, when you have 97, 98, consistently, you're going to get away with some of those situations. And DeGrom, believe me, he's a warrior. He's a warrior. He struggled the last 2 outings I saw him, and he battled his way around to pitch a pretty good game and put his team in position to win.
All right, now he's been the daddy, I think, a couple of times, DeGrom. He will not be and getting the hat trick, but will it be Murphy, Duda? That would be a big daddy for Pedro. D'Arnaud, or will it be David Wright? Perhaps, maybe. He doesn't like any of your choices. You can get on Twitter and vote along the way, because we have much more to do here as we continue to get you ready for the World Series on the NL side. The Mets with a sweep of the Chicago Cubs. Our MLB on TBS postseason show presented by the Lincoln Motor Company continues from Wrigley next.
That's a big bull. I think that's old Cyrus. 1,800 pounds and do whatever the heck I want. Take a long way, huh? Thank you, Cyrus.
Lease an NKC for $2.99 a month, only at your Lincoln dealer.
Hanes underwear and socks with revolutionary X-Temp technology are designed to respond to your body temperature to help keep you cool. Let's put it to the test.
Hey, Dad.
Emily.
Ready?
Wait, no, wait. Slow down a little.
Ow!
Watch out for the speed bumps.
It speeds evaporation to help keep you cool and dry. Hanes X-Temp technology for men and women. Because when you're cool, you're comfortable.
So good.
Do you know the secret to a happy home in these modern times? It's a housewife who's in control of the finances.
Actually, any wife, husband, or human person can use Progressive's Name Your Price tool to take control of their budget.
And while the men do the hard work of making money, she can get all the car insurance options her little heart desires.
Or the women might do the hard work of making money.
Women don't have jobs.
Is this guy for real?
Modernizing car insurance
That's
with
enough out of you. The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
Where is your husband?
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
Every fight needs a hero. But we've got these guys.
Let's go save the day.
Magic is real.
Nobody panic!
The Librarians, season premiere November 1st at 8 on TNT.
What do I call you?
John.
John who?
Just John.
The postseason show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
All right, we welcome you back to the MLB on TBS coverage. It is a sweep indeed. No salt on the wound here at TBS. It is a sweep for the New York Mets. They're on their way to the World Series.
They need a bigger brush.
Leave the hate tweets for the people in the back room. On Friday, you can get the AL's next game. That would be Game 6, 3-2 your advantage in favor of the Royals going back to the K. Over the Toronto Blue Jays, you can get at 8 p.m. on FS1. On Friday, here's what happened today. 7-1 Blue Jays, the final. Some big hits early, including one off the bat of Chris Colabello against Edinson Volquez. But you won't believe what the pitcher Volke had to say about it. Indeed.
Colabello's tried this. You know, I think he called time in game 1.
I'm gonna go hear my daddy. He got me. He's last time I faced him, he hit a homer, and today he hit another homer in 2 strikes. So he been seeing the ball pretty good against me.
You see, you got to call him your daddy.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
he drops it. I'm gonna call him my daddy.
There we go. There we go. See, that's a winner way of saying you have my number. That's simple. We say that all the time in the Winter League. So don't feel so excited about it.
But it's like a form of flattery that he took that from you a little bit. And that's your boy. You know Edinson well.
He was being a good sport and admitting that guy got his number. Right. That's all. But it's just for now. Watch out when he strikes him out 3 times. Then he's gonna have to call Volquez his daddy.
Did the Yankees ever call you the opposite?
No, but
did they ever say that's my daddy?
I got the opportunity to prove it.
Plenty of time.
When he played for you in Cincinnati, were you his daddy?
Yes.
Okay.
I was a lot of people's daddy.
Why do you refuse to be mine then?
Well, because you don't look like me.
I'm not admitting nothing. I'm not admitting nothing like that.
Volkes don't look like me either.
Volkes is an ugly boy.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're handsome.
Only a good-loving mother loves Volkes.
You terrible person. You follow every pitch of the postseason with MLB.com at bat. The #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected with the highlights, replays, reviews, scores, pitch tracking, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download the at-bat app today. When we roll back, we'll find out who else we can offend. It's MLB on TBS. Don't move.
Every fight needs a hero. But we've got these guys.
Jeez, mate. Thanks for the confidence.
The Librarians are back.
Let's go save the day.
Magic is real.
Nobody panic!
The Librarians, season premiere November 1st at 8.
You okay?
No.
I've won over $29,000 on FanDuel. Nothing special about me. The difference is that I played and they didn't.
He played 1 week fantasy football on FanDuel, where over 1.2 million people have won money.
If you think it can't be you, it can be you.
Choose a 1-week league, pick your team, and win. Leagues start from $1 and there's no season-long commitment.
Every week I can beat my buddies on FanDuel. Every single week I can win money on FanDuel.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code BACKED.
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys. Because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
It's fall. Around these parts, it's better known as Dungeness crab season. At Joe's, we don't have any damn pumpkin spice. We got our signature barbecue dry rub. Barbecued Dungeness crab only at Joe's Crab Shack.
I have league pass at home. I've had it for a while. I'm a huge fan of the game. I still enjoy watching other teams play.
You can watch any game, any story. I think it's great.
A lot of times on the road, I carry around a laptop and I can stream the games. I'm able to look down at my phone when I get the ticker, seeing that there's something special happening.
37.25!
I've never seen anything like that. My eyes were glued to the TV.
It was unbelievable.
At the end of the day, I'm a fan of the game.
That's the best part about it. Follow us on NBA League Pass.
Families may trust nursing homes to provide a safe environment and quality care for their loved ones. But it is important to know the warning signs of abuse and neglect. Warning signs may include broken bones, bed sores, and malnutrition. If you suspect a loved one is suffering abuse or neglect, you can speak with an attorney to help protect their rights. Call Sokolov Law for a free legal consultation. 1-800-966-9950. That's 1-800-966-9950. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
We initially thought that it was the Back to the Future story that would be told. The Cubs sweep the series. You remember Marty McFly?
Oh, yeah.
And then they said the headline is changing, and it did. Except it changed negatively for Chicago. The Cubs get swept. He wasn't happy about it, but he got a hoverboard and took off anyway. And we found out that the Cubs, they take off in the future, guys. 97 wins. This is their most since 2008. Everything towards the positive. And, Shep, really the culture is now towards the positive, and the attitude's there where you want it with Chicago.
Yeah, they have a lot to look forward to. You know, they have a good, good quality young players, and Chris Bryant and Rizzo. They got players that they can look up to, and see that they're building in the right direction. They have a manager now that they feel like that's going to build this team like he did in Tampa. But they have a lot of mishaps out there as well that they have to address for us in the outfield.
But I think they also have some young players coming up behind these guys. is going to put a little pressure on them and push them possibly, because these guys have been building this organization for a while. Every time they make trades, they get young players in return. They're signing a lot of guys from Latin America, from Cuba, from Dominican Republic. So I think you're going to see a whole bunch of new faces as well.
Well, Dusty, they got the most important part of starting an organization, which is they came in this year with one ace. All of a sudden, they got two, and two good ones. Now, all you have to do is look in the farm system. Who could help you? A couple of arms, powerful arms, that'll probably help you in the future, and probably go and get you another starting pitcher that will give you another opportunity to win.
There you go.
And as far as offense and defense and stuff like that, you correct those things by repeating in spring training, and they're going to have a very positive spring training, and they have a bright future. But they have the nucleus to build a great team for a long time here.
And some money as well. Don't be surprised maybe reuniting Joe Madden with his boy David Price. They also could trade if they want. One thing they're going to need to do is continue to get better. Some of these kids are going to make mistakes. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of them that we saw here in this game today. If you go back to our pregame, we focused on this and highlighted some of those from Game 3. This is from today in Game 4. What do you see here with Schwarber?
Well, I see a catcher playing left field, and it looked like it. When this guy's out of position, this ball here, he didn't have to dive for it. He could have stayed on his feet and probably made a shoestring catch.
Exactly.
And these are things that you need time in the outfield to learn.
Right.
How to judge these balls.
But he is aggressive. I got to give that to him.
Yes.
He's not afraid. On that ball right there, Dexter Fowler, he has to be hustling. This guy usually hustles. He's probably frustrated. He wasn't getting on base. He thought he popped it up. Next thing you know, they drop it, and he should have been on second base.
Yeah,
that was big.
And that run counts, and it's something that they could have had. And we saw the amount that they needed the home run. You talked about this a lot. I hate when people say small ball. Yes. It's baseball.
Right.
They played baseball better in New York than they did in Chicago in this series.
Right. You have to learn how to get runs in any kind of way possible.
That's right.
Bunt, hit and run, or anything.
Sack flies.
Sack fly.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to give yourself up on the first pitch that you see just to get a run. These guys strike out way too much for me, because if you can't put the ball in play, you can't hit and run and do the little things.
Pedro, if you go back to your first experience in a postseason, how valuable was this for you? When you look at Bryant and Schwarber, I know they're going to be upset tonight, and I'm sure for a while. What will it mean for their futures that they got this opportunity so early in their careers as rookies?
No, their future looks to me so bright. These kids are just coming. Schwarber, for example, was last year probably in college. And he's already up here in the big leagues playing the postseason. So imagine the amount of experience that they're going to take and the confidence that they're going to take over for next year. Now they know the little weakness that those young players have. And they can take time now to correct them and make them better players. For next year, they're going to probably come over full of confidence, ready to work, and now with a sweet taste of the postseason.
You said the key word. You got to go to work.
This is what they needed, though.
That's right.
Well, you know what we need is to forget about Edinson Volquez and his daddy, because we don't want to upset the family portrait and the looks. Who's Pedro's daddy? We've been asking you that on Twitter. Darno Murphy, right and due to all votes. Murph, not surprisingly, 6 consecutive games with a postseason homer. That is the mark all-time in baseball. 42%. Who will Pedro go for? The wine, the cigar.
I'll get me a better daddy.
Much more still to come. Daddies
Come on,
and then
man.
some.
You putting me down?
Well, you denied me. You denied me.
They denied Jesus too, but they didn't put him down.
Well, I don't know. Jesus got a back.
So how did you get this gold PS4?
So last week I ran into this guy, Dimitri Two Hands. He used to run with the mob. Anyway, his goons boosted some bullion from the Kemerov vault. But the bars are marked, so they had to melt them down. Now it's in a cookhouse. You know the right guys and have the dinero. People are dipping all sorts of stuff in it. That's how.
Really? Because I heard that you can only win it at Taco Bell.
Grab a Quesarito or Volcano Quesarito Big Box for a chance to win a limited edition gold PS4 bundle. There's a winner every 10 minutes.
This is the sound of a car engine. Hidden within is damaging surface wear, up to 75% of which happens during warm-up. But new Castrol GTX Magnatec has intelligent molecules that cling, providing an extra layer of protection from the start. New Castrol GTX Magnatech. Instant protection from the moment you start.
The Beam family has a long history of doing things their own way. They age every drop of Jim Beam twice as long as the law requires for a true Kentucky straight bourbon. So, 4 long years from now, I'll be back for this one. That's how Jim Beam makes history. How will you make yours? Introducing new Jim Beam Apple. Poured over ice and served with club soda and a fresh lemon wedge to make a crisp, refreshing Jim Beam Apple and Soda.
God gave us free will. And that means, unfortunately, bad people do bad things.
You betrayed me.
What's going on with you?
They think he's planning something big.
College basketball's grandest stage awaits. The championship game. We'll have it on TBS. The moments they talk about for a lifetime.
It is time now for the Lincoln Motor Company Play of the Night, and this is not going to come as any surprise. It's Daniel Murphy again. He's basically swept these in this series, and over the last 6 days, a home run each of those games, 7 now in the postseason, a franchise mark for the New York Mets. Clearly, our Lincoln Motor Company Play of the Night as the Mets are on their way to the World Series. We are not done just yet. Cigars, wine, and daddies, because after all, it's a family program. MLB on TBS's coverage of the National League Championship Series continues from Wrigley Field. We'll put a wrap on it right after this.
Tonight on Conan, Elvis Costello.
I believe I was one of your best friends.
Plus Nathan Fielder.
When I came on here, I wasn't really expecting, this to be a witch hunt. I was expecting to talk to more of, a clown.
Conan's all new tonight after MLB postseason coverage on TBS.
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys. Because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
It's fall. Around these parts, it's better known as Dungeness crab season. At Joe's, we don't have any damn pumpkin spice. We got our signature barbecue dry rub. Barbecued Dungeness crab only at Joe's Crab Shack.
Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. And I never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly.
Let's hide in the attic.
No, in the basement. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. That's what you do.
Shh, I'm being quiet. Breathing on me.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Congratulations to the 2015 National League champion New York Mets. Now's your chance to own the gear the players are wearing. Go to the official online shop of the New York Mets, the MLB.com shop. Get your authentic on-field championship t-shirt, cap, and officially licensed championship gear. The New York Mets are back. Celebrate your team's return to the World Series and wear what the players wear. Get your gear today straight from the source, the MLB.com shop.
The Postseason Show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
All right, people, it is time now as we see Terry Collins spritzing the champagne. TC, congratulations to him. After all he's gone through, forget about just this season, but in his career as a manager. He talked during the season about kind of doing things different this time around and what he's done with his kids. Good to see him get an opportunity. We welcome you into the time you've all been waiting for, clearly, because it's bananas, and that's the awards presentation for the final time. Go ahead, Dusty. What do you have with the wine?
Well, for the wine, I'm going to give it to my homeboy, Lucas Duda from Riverside, California.
There you go.
He's not from Tampa, and he's not from Dominican. So I'm going to give it to Lucas Duda. He had a heck of a night.
I see how you work.
He was 3 for 4 with 5 ribbies. 5 ribbies.
I like the way you're working. I got something for you. I got something for you later.
I got
A
you,
little
brother.
Baker's Family Wines. Now, we got rid of the BCS, but apparently there's still controversy in voting because you have a tie. This is the first time this has ever happened.
the first time. I'm going to join Dusty Baker, and we're going to congratulate Lucas Duda. I don't even need to tell you what his stats was, but the 3-run homer was enough for me. He woke up. He took his team. It beat him by itself, really. Sure, it beat him by itself.
Okay.
And that's why we ain't talked about him that much during this series. So, congratulations.
Thank you for picking Duda, but don't deny me as a brother, please.
Why not?
Don't do that, bro.
Why not?
No, just don't deny me.
Don't deny you what?
You jumped in the bandwagon of Duda, but don't deny me as a brother, though. See?
All right,
What's wrong with him, Chef? I like that.
This is what happens in the party bus that we take here to get to the stadium. And by the way, I'm glad you congratulated Duda for getting on the right track and then gave him a bottle of wine and 60 cigars.
You got to give him some love. You got to give him some love.
It is time to answer the question for the final time. Who's your daddy?
I mean, what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddy.
Is it me, Pedro?
Is it me?
He said it would be me, and then he changed his mind.
You know what? I was gonna pick Casey because this was the first time that you ever announced one player to have a breakout, and it was Lucas Duda.
Yes.
And he did it. I was gonna pick Casey, but after you denied me as a son, now I gotta go to New York and get me a better looking daddy. A younger one, not an underage one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make him my daddy. So
I want to see this guy.
What do you mean? You wanted to see? Line drive to left field. There he did it again. And there he goes.
That put the nail in the coffin.
Oh, yes.
I think it was already nailed in by then.
Man. That is right there.
Murph, you are on fire.
He is my MVP, and he's my daddy as well. And I'm going with him to New York.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a fact?
Oh, look at him.
See? He's taking me on the plane, and he's going to give me some bottles over there.
Hey, man, you need some sun on those arms.
I keep telling you, he's pale as a
Hey,
gift.
Dusty.
Yeah, look at them little baby feet.
Dusty, you recognize something in the lower left?
Oh, the goat.
That's you, the old
That
goat.
ain't me.
That's you, the old goat. That's you, Dusty.
Okay, who's the black cat back there?
That's
Who's
you.
That's Chef.
That's Fiesta. Hey, that black cat is Fiesta.
That's Fiesta.
Oh,
my
the
son.
collage of daddies.
Oh, there we go.
Look at him. Oh, so cute.
See, I like that one.
I like that one
the
too.
Correa one.
And every one of those pictures.
This is not funny. That's not even funny.
Hey, we were going surfing on that one. There we
How
go.
many teeth? How many teeth he got? Oh.
Howdy doody.
You look like a moose.
La potencia.
There you go.
And all
You
those
look
pictures,
just
he had
like,
32
hey, man,
teeth,
you
too.
look just like Vocus.
But see, Volcas is my brother, though.
Yeah.
And I got me a daddy
You
now.
got 740 daddies and one brother. And two brothers.
Well, I got a couple of brothers, but I'm not going to mention. See, this is one of them.
All right.
I ain't
This
deny
is
you,
one of
brother.
them.
I ain't
All
deny
right.
you.
First of all, I think, which is important, we got to thank the whole crew.
Yep.
The people who put this together, the greatest people ever, who put us in a situation where it is the easiest job in the world to deal with you.
Thank you.
So we appreciate that, and thanks to them. We had fun.
Yeah, we
I
had
told
a
him
lot of fun.
I'm going to just forget. Sorry to the people at MLB Network radio. No World Series for me. I'm going to Sacramento with you to drink
hang out
wine.
with Dusty.
Come on, my brother.
Oh, see? See how you are?
Yeah, so you got a new daddy, too.
Hey,
You ain't the only one can have a new daddy.
I just hope that you give him enough wine over there in your winery.
Now, Pedro, how soon on the boat when you get off the plane tomorrow?
Oh, by noon I'll be Mr. Mimosa.
Mr. Mimosa?
Yeah, I'm not your son no more. I'm Mr. Mimosa.
Oh, he's denying you not, Dusty.
Okay, now what about you, Chef?
I'll be on the golf course.
Oh, man.
Shocking. with one of these.
No, my wife said she gonna give me to Monday.
I'll still be on the plane. I'll still be on the plane trying to get home.
Hang with it with the food on the plane.
Hey, I'm gonna miss you guys, man.
No, you as well.
And that bottle of wine,
too, bro.
bottle of wine, don't take it on the plane because they're gonna give you that wine that they have on that plane.
That's right.
I can't drink that cheap wine.
You guys are my Thunder buddies for life.
All right, man.
Thanks for enjoying the coverage at TBS.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Coming to you from Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, it's Conan! Tonight, Grammy Award-winning artist Elvis Costello, star of Nathan For You, Nathan Fielder, and musical guest La Santa Cecilia. Featuring Jimmy Bovino and the Basic Cable Band, I'm Andy Richter.